Hello everyone, my name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Welcome back. Today's video is it's going to be a review on The Gilded Ones by Namina Forna. I read this for our Introverted Reader book club. This was our pick for, what was it? This was our pick for March. Yes, that is what the month is. What are even months anymore? What's even time anymore? I don't know. But before I talk about this, I wanted to show you something very exciting that I got in the post today, and I'd have to show this off because it's so beautiful. Look at this. This is Avatar: The Last Airbender, Smoke and Shadow. This is another volume in the Avatar comics, and it's not like the other ones that I have. The other ones that I have are paperback, but look at that. Map of the Four Nations, and just the artwork. The artwork in here. Let's just don't be looking at any of the writing, but like look at the art. Like I can't. It's so pretty, and Zuko's on the front, which is where he belongs. And just I'm so excited. I'm so excited to read this. I still have The Rift, which I haven't read yet, but I will get to that soon. So anyway, with that out of the way, I just wanted to show you guys that because it's so pretty, and oh, I was so excited when I got it today. So yes, so let's talk about The Gilded Ones, shall we? Book club pick for March. Okay, so this is an African-inspired story about a girl called Deka. And Deka lives in a very heavily patriarchal society where women are seen as lesser creatures, and their only really job is to, to be mothers and wives and, take care of the house. Sound familiar? And before she can do all of that, before she can be accepted into society, her and other girls her age have to go through like a blood ritual type thing, kind of like a purity ritual. And basically what happens is before the ritual can start, there is an attack on her village by these monsters called Death Shrieks. And before she even knows what she's doing, she stops them just like with her voice. And all the villagers are around like, what? How did you do that? Are you a demon? And then she ends up getting stabbed. One of the villagers stabs her and her blood bleeds gold instead of red. And in the eyes of the village, of the whole country really, having gold blood is a sign that you are a demon. So she basically gets banished from society, from the village. Even her own father rejects her. It's really, really sad. And she ends up just getting taken away, and she ends up striking this, she ends up in the middle of this like big huge war, and she basically gets brought in with all these other girls that bled gold as well, and they're basically told that they are what's known as the Gilded Ones. They're like descendants of demons. And she ends up being thrown into this war to be trained as like a killing machine. And she's told that if she serves the emperor for the next 20 years, then she can get the like demonic part of her removed or something. I don't know how that would happen, but yeah, she basically gets thrown into this big massive bloody war. And when I say bloody, I'm not exaggerating, and the author has put a trigger warning at the beginning. It says The Gilded Ones include scenes of violence, including some graphic violence, which some readers may find distressing. And that is very, very true. This book is very, very violent. It's, obviously there's a war going on. War isn't pretty. It's not a walk in the park, and people die, people get injured. So yeah, there's a lot of that, like descriptions of injuries, and also it's not like blatantly there, but there's also hints at sexual assault, because it's mentioned that some of the other girls that were brought in from different provinces were not treated very well by the people that were bringing them in. So yeah, so they basically arrive as like shells of their former selves, and just a lot of violence against women in this one. But like all in all, okay. So the story itself, I was really, really into. Like, I was really intrigued as to like, what was it about her that made her this way? And there's a lot of talk about her mother as well, because her mother died. And she finds out a lot of things about herself, about her family. and just about the, you know, like the real reason that they're out there fighting in the first place. Obviously I don't want to give too much away, I don't want to spoil you, but one thing that I loved about this book was the found family aspect. Like, she is in this place, this training facility with all these other girls, and her and I think 3 or 4 others, there's 4 others I think, they sort of become their own little group, and they like band together, and she becomes really, really close with this girl called Britta, who is so sweet and so kind and is just sweet little bean. I love Britta. But I loved the found family aspect, the sisterhood that these girls had. I kind of want a little bit more of that. Like, I wanted a little bit more of the girls bonding and them, you know, having little bits of banter and just being friends and whatever. But I mean, obviously that's not what the book's about, you know, there's other things we need to be talking about. But I wouldn't have minded a few more scenes of them just, you know, girls being girls, you know what I mean? Just to get a little bit more of that aspect within the story. And oh, it's just so beautifully written. Like, this book is so beautifully written, and you really, really feel for Dega and the other girls, and it's just, your heart breaks for them. It really does. It's just like they're thrown into the situation and they don't know what they are, or like if they'll ever be accepted into society ever at all, even after they're told they'll get the demonic side of them taken away, which I still don't understand how that would happen. But like, towards the end, I didn't know if I saw the ending coming or not. I just sort of went, oh, wow. Like, if I could describe my reading experience in one word of reading this book, it would just be wow. So I was just like, wow, this is intense. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Wow, all these poor girls, I want to save them all. Like, it's just, there is a romance in here as well, between Dega and this boy. And I mean, he was sweet and all, he was nice to her, but it kind of felt a little bit insta-lovey. It felt a little bit insta-lovey and a little bit rushed. I didn't really feel like it was fleshed out enough personally for me. I mean, obviously there was a lot more going on than just her finding a boy and falling in love, and I appreciate the author for doing that, you know, like putting the romance in there, but at the same time being like, yeah, but we have a war to fight, so let's get going. So like, I appreciated that, but I still wouldn't have minded just a little bit more just of the two of them together. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Character wise, yeah, I like the characters, but there were some characters I wanted a little bit more from, you know. I guess maybe a little more plot driven than character driven. Not a whole lot in the character development department, but all in all, I still loved this book. I still give it 4 stars. I still, like, my jaw was like on the floor at the end. And if you haven't read this, I highly recommend that you do. So yeah, that's my review on the Gilded Ones. Just know I loved it. Be wary of the violent content in here because it does get very violent and bloody. So yeah, and look at our girl on the front. Like, look at her. She's just, ugh. Like, she's just so beautiful. Anyway, that's my review for the Gilded Ones. All in all, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm so excited about the sequel. It says the sequel, let me see, it says in the back here, coming 2022. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. So yeah, super excited about that sequel because this was amazing. If you haven't read this, read it. It's wonderful. Anyway, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Twitter, Instagram, down below as always. Let me know if you've read this or if you plan on reading this. If you have read it, what did you think? Did you think the same way as me, that there wasn't enough of the character development in there for you, or are you okay with a plot-driven story? Let me know. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already, ring the bell. I should have some more videos coming out soon. And yeah, stay safe, and I love you. Bye!